Bada boom, bada bing. Come on, load up. There you go. Alright, I'm only doing this because it's a quick little tour of my base. I'm going to be starting a new game. This is single player. I'm not on a PvP server. I'm on a PvE. So, let's see. There are ways also to delete your games, that you play on if you have a single server and you want to create a new server. You can go into your app data folder. So you do percentage app data, all one word, then a percentage again in the search bar, and it will bring up. You go into Stunlocks folder, and then you go inside there, and you'll see server and server settings or something like that. I don't know it off the top of my head, but anyway, you go into your player settings, not your player settings, but your server settings, your server itself, so that doesn't show up. Okay, this will be my base tour. This is my base. The red you see going around is because I have one of the shards in my inventory. Oh no, I have the necklace, the end game necklace. So again, this was basically just me building for the most part. I used a couple programs to help me get items quicker and things like that. In the PvE and PvP servers, you can't do any of that stuff yet. But anyway, so this is the throne room. Nice little details here, gargoyles, windows in the back here, the curtains on the wall, the royal pattern and everything all over the place. Of course, you see all my gear also. Over here, again, here's the throne room. Put these over here because I think that adds a little bit more color and a nice little touch. These are here, the braziers are here because when you put down the castle heart, unfortunately, you cannot, the roof is not sealed. This is a tile, but it doesn't act as a tile that would seal the roof. And I think they need to fix that because that's just crazy. This should not be outside. You should be able to put this in a spot like this. Like in the throne room. Come on, that just looks old. That just looks too cool. Why wouldn't you do that? That doesn't even make any sense to me. Anyway, so this is the throne room. We got some flags, some gargoyles. These are the braziers. You go, again, back into the living chamber, or the living quarters. I have this set up over here. I'm going to get the couch set up instead. I do like the chairs too, but you can you can still do it. Maybe I'll keep the chairs, I don't know. It looks pretty cool. Anyway, the clock, the curtains again with the theme. I have the Eye of Twilight over here in this couple. Two pictures, and then the coffin that I sleep in, and then the mirror for changing your cosmetics. You got the altar here. There's a couple things. This is like my first playthrough, so I didn't know a couple things. Why is this person in the cage? Why are you in the cage? Get out of the cage. Why are you in there? Weirdo. Anyway, this is where my minions would be, or my servants, or whatever. I only have 3 so far because I didn't really go. What's he doing? It's on the castle ground. It's okay. What about this one? What? Why are you dead? What did you do, dude? That you died? Freaking weirdo. Why are you dead? You're geared up. Why are you dead? Where the hell did you go? that's their area. Again, got the windows over here, the curtains. Brought the carpet all the way in, and then did like a little cross up here, whatever. So back out. Go back out to the throne room. We're gonna go through this door, but hold on. We're gonna go to the sitting area or the garden area first. Get away from me, dude. Okay, so this is outside. Right? Got an entrance here that goes into a couple of the crafting rooms. I'm gonna put all this up, as you can see. Sitting area, lights, candles, all the stuff I had to make. But again, like I said, I used a program to allow me to craft a little bit easier. It still took me like 2 days. So I'm not even done, to be honest with you. Okay, so out here is the main entrance. Don't mind the horse. I haven't built a stable, so it's just here. Anyway, this is the main entrance into the castle. You'll come through the entrance, and then you'll be in here. Let's see. Got some statues for like guards, braziers, and in every cubbyhole that I could, because I wanted to brighten it up a little bit and also show some of the detail. Then you come over here. This is the first crafting area. You go through here. Now we're in the jeweler section. This is where the jewelers, the gem crafting is. It's all themed out. I'll show you jewel crafting. This is what I got on. That's why you see the red going around my, going around me. Then we go into the forge area. This is the forge. And a lot of people make the mistake of keeping all their old crafting tables. You don't need to, because once you learn everything, you basically out-level all the stuff. You can't craft from those benches anymore. Not the new stuff. This is the tailoring section. As you can see, if you click on these, the floors has matching floor, because there's specific tiles within the build menu. Let's see, castle floors. Here you go. So see, you got alchemy lab flooring, tailor flooring. So tailor flooring has two options. I chose to go with the red because it just looks cool with all the other stuff. Here's your loom, your tannery that you can craft all this stuff, and your loom for crafting this stuff. I believe they're going to add a whole lot more to the game than just that. So then come over here. This is the library. Yeah, I believe this is the library. Got a paper press over here, and then this is I believe this is the last one that you can make. Fully researched out. See, everything's researched. Anyway, going into here, this is the workshop. So this was the first room that I built, and I had everything in. Actually, I'll show you in a second. Anyway, this is all your workshop stuff. Nothing real fancy, but again, themed. These are workshop floors, workshop walls, bookcases, stuff like that. This is the end game bookcase, I think. As you can see, I'm stacked. Just keep making stuff. I was crafting for 2 days, non-stop. But I sped up the crafting process on my server, so you can speed it up. It's not instantaneous. It's what they allow you to do if you want to change your server settings or something like that. Anyway, if you come out here, this is one entrance. Come over here to the teleporter area, so you can teleport. I haven't even explored everything. Most of it, but not everything. There's another section here. I didn't even know that. This right here. I still got some exploring to do. Alright, so that's the exit. I had built initially. There's so much like little stuff that I can still do in here. Like the torches behind the statue, give it that little, glowing part. Anyway, initially that heart, my castle heart, was down here in this area. Oh, I got this over here. The tombs and all. Make some rats, big putrid rats, stuff like that. So I had the heart over here, I believe. Let me see, where's my build? Yeah, I was like right here with the heart. Right around here somewhere. And then I moved the heart in, because I thought it would look cool where it is. Initially I had it in that central room, and then I said, nah, let me go put it in the throne room. So anyway, I built this little thing just because I wanted them here, just to have them here. It's decoration, basically. They don't do anything. You can farm them for materials and stuff like that, but I don't need any materials. So that's it, really. That's, I mean, again, the most detail I did so far was in here and then in here. I was doing this all night long, trying to like get the carpet right, all that other stuff. Anyone who's ever, well, anyone who gamed with me, played the Star Wars Old Republic Online or Star Wars Online, the Old Republic, knows like I had a clan building in a clan or in a player base that was just fleshed out. It was really, I like these little building games where you can do details like this and stuff like that, and turn it into something that you would see. I try and think about like how a castle would look, what type of stuff you would have in it. I did have like these altar lights on the side here, and another, I forgot what I had in there, but when I got this, when I was able to craft this, because you have to have gold to craft this, and that's a hard resource to come by. Got me high level. I just flew over, mined it, and then got out of there. That is, oh wait, I forgot about this. No, I forgot about this one. This is the alchemy lab. So this is all alchemy. And again, I wanted a door that can go outside. Because when I chose this spot, I realized that this was here. And I was trying to make it so that the throne would be directly in the middle of this area, so it would have been like right here, it should have been. But I couldn't do it because there's extra space over here. The tiles just didn't add up. This section cut out, but then I got it working anyway, so. Castle's two-tone because I never did the outside walls yet for this, and this was the original part that I built, so this is all done already. This game is fun. I mean, you can play it online. It's PvP and PvE. You can have a server. You can create, you can get your own server and then have PvP going on. The standard group size, I think, is 4, but you can increase it, so you can actually have bigger groups in that. At least I believe you can increase it. Pretty sure you can. And I'm assuming the PvP servers would be fun. The map is kind of small, so the amount of people that you have on your server, like the prime building areas and stuff like that. And if you go, the problem with it is if you go on a server where there's already established clans or guilds, you're gonna have a really hard time. And again, most people, if you look at the map, most people, this is where you start, here or here. So you get to pick either go here or go here. This is the new area. This is like the newbie area, right? So you don't, because you have a massive area, and it is, you run slow, so the area seems a lot larger than what it actually is, right? It's big. Don't get me wrong, it's big, but you move slow, so it seems even bigger. You can get a horse and you can ride around until you get bat form, and then you can use bat form to go to certain places. But building in this area, central location, right? So I built here. I initially was going to build, I think, right here, right? But I thought that might be too far away from the starter area because you have to do the V bloods, and these V bloods are all, these ones are all down in the newbie area, right? I haven't done this one yet, but these are like mainly down in the newbie area. So if you move all the way up there, you got to travel all the way down the newbie area, and then you got to, you know, and you can only do these one at a time. I wish you could do these in a quest format without having to come back, because you have to come back to the blood altar. Just right here, right? Okay. You have to come back to the blood altar every single time, as far as I know, and select each one and then track. And then it tracks that specific animal or specific person or vampire hunter or whatever. And then you got to go find them, right? You'll see like a little blood trail pop up. But it's not, it's right now what's happening. See this right here coming into me? That's because I'm tracking one of the mobs, which was the other one that I was going to go kill last night, but I just got too tired. Still trying to get it. So anyway, the moon's rising, right? So I have my days, because I knew I was going to be just building, basically, and getting a feel for the game. I set my daytime to like 1 hour, and you'll see it goes by fast. Like 1 hour goes by quick. It's not long at all, because I didn't want to be burning up while I was out there farming for materials and stuff like that, because you can die from the sun. You gotta have like resistances and everything else. That's why the PvE, PvP servers that are going to be, you know, out there that you can join and you can, whatever it is, what the PvP ones are going to be really fun, because it adds a new mechanic. Like during daytime, you could be out there hunting, but you can stay in the shadows. Right? So you're in the shadows, and you got to follow the shadows so that you don't die. This right here, like I said, I made it a little bit easier because I knew I was just going to build and see what I wanted to get a feel for the game before I actually joined a real server. So I got this 2 days ago, and I just been doing this. I really like the building aspect of the game. Again, like all the games that I play, whether they're PvP or not, I love the building parts of it. But then once you're done, right? So I have really no more. I mean, I can go build another castle here, but there's really nothing to do now because I've already done most of it. I mean, I can go hunt some more of the mobs and get more of these guys. But I'm not on a server that actually needs any servants. I don't need them to go out and farm. I don't need them to defend the castle against anything, because there's nothing really to defend the castle against right now. There's nobody else playing. But I just wanted to really see how the building aspects go. I'll turn into the bat and fly above. Let's see. So the bases basically are like this. This is it. And this part is weird because they did some details on the side and all, but you can't really see these unless you're in the air. There's no second floors. You can't build a second floor yet, which is really weird. I thought that was weird. I mean, you should be able to build upward in the castle. See, since I built here, I just followed the outline. Again, like I built this section here, but see, this is what I was talking about. Look, every other tile is good. The reason why this tile isn't is because the castle thing, whatever the fuck it's called, I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway, that's there, and it won't let you put a roof there. So I was wondering when I was and that's in the throne room. So I was wondering when I was in the throne room earlier, right? I wound up getting hit by the sun. I'm like, wait, why the hell am I getting hit by the sun? and you can't see above you. Look, you can't see anything because this is one of those top down, you know, like 2.5. It's 3D. I mean, you can go closer to your character, but you can't rotate the camera upward at all. You have to scroll out in order to see things. And this is, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind it, but again, you know, you can't really see what was going on until I got back from it. Then I flew over to base the one yesterday before I got off, and I saw the hole in the roof, and I'm like, this is just ridiculous. I don't know why they didn't think of that. You know, this is the heart of your castle, basically. Everything builds off of this. So why wouldn't you want this inside somewhere where you can protect it? You know what I mean? Like, and then in the throne, it just fits the throne. You're a vampire king. This thing's made out of blood. Like, why wouldn't you want it in your throne room? Right? So while you're here, that's right in front. But the fact that I can't lean my camera upward, but I can go all the way down on top of my character, but I can't go upward, kind of takes away from some of the building aspect of the game. It can be a lot nicer if you can look up and actually see things. And if they allow you to build a second floor where you can build up. Because initially I thought you could do that. So when I built this, I was going to put stairs going up to a second floor here. You know, to a balcony and all that other stuff, make it look really cool. But again, you're limited with your building. They built these areas. I think they tried to make it so that it seemed like you had second floors because they built these little areas right here with these ramps. You have to put the stairs in. In other sites, they have these broken stairs. I don't know if you can place anything over them. I haven't tried. But anyway, and then, you know, like build another section here, you know, and so on and so forth. You got these little areas right here, which are like down areas. They go down to another level. But it's not. That's not it. I mean, castles were one floor. Castles had multiple floors. Most castles. Yeah, you had ramparts, and you had castle walls and things like that. It just seems having just one level. And although from the inside it looks really cool, from the outside, if you go up top again and you fly over, it just looks like a box. Now you can build little hallways and then build rooms and not build in these areas. Like, you know, you can build an 8x8, kind of like whatever this is. And then you can build like hallways going down and then branch rooms off of the hallways, so that, and then leave the spaces in between grass. But you're wasting a lot of building space and a lot of space, period. And you're limited in the amount in the area that you can build unless you build on a complete flat surface. I mean, I literally started my character like 5-6 different times in order to find a good place to build. One place I built was completely flat, 100% build area. But again, it would have been on flat ground and it would have just looked like a ranch. You know, all one level. Just inside, you can make them look intricate like this. You can make them look really, really good. But that's all you can do. The building is still just a big, giant square. And I tried to like do angles in the building, you know, because of the surrounding area and stuff like that. Utilize every bit of space that I could. Like on areas like this, to make sure I can clip it into the wall. Now you can't do that on most of the areas, but here for some reason you can. You can clip these right into the wall. These are where the pillars are, so you can clip them into the wall. When they designed these, they designed them to a flat wall, the flat part of the wall, not the pillar side of the wall. So you can pull them out, but then they sit out a little bit too far. I don't like that. Here, these aren't clipped all the way in. These are just like almost in. And then here, as you can see, like you can put them almost up to the wall. This is how it should be, because they're in between the pillars. But if I took this and put it up against this pillar, look, it would clip right into the pillar. Now, I don't think they thought about that, because I don't think anybody really designed anything to do that. And only in that one area do I have everything clipping, like things clipping through the wall. But here, look, It's right up against it. There's no reason for me to have these pillars here, except for to make it look better. They didn't actually do anything. I didn't need to have these pillars here. I just thought it would look cool. Especially when you come into like a grand hall, or not a grand, you know, where you hold court. There's got to be pillars there. Something's got to be holding the roof up. Or in this case, not holding the roof up. It's not even holding the roof up. Excuse me. And then from here, the throne, once you get your throne up, you can control your minions, your servants, whatever you want. You can have them go into an area like this, these white areas, and have them farm them out. I don't send them out, but apparently it takes 24 hours. I think they're going literally 20, like real 24 hours. And in your server settings, you can adjust how many minions you want. Like I think I can have like 20 if I wanted to. And there's no way I'm ever gonna have 20. I mean, at most that I had when I did my other the other server before I deleted it had 5. This is something to do with getting people, bringing them back, putting them in there, and being able to feed off them. I haven't gotten to those mechanics yet. I really like this room though. I had it set up small, but you know, right off of the throne. Oh, again, these braziers put out like a smoke so that if the sun does come through, I'm not going to get hurt. And I had to do that again because the castle heart takes up a space, but you can't build a roof over it for some unknown reason. It really is a mechanic that doesn't make any sense to me. You should be able to build a roof that. Build a roof. All the other ones have the roof, as you can see. So I have three entrances. Yeah, 3 entrances to get into the castle. This one's a little bit more double-doored. I didn't do this on the other ones. I want to put a double door. These are windows. I forgot to put them. That's right. And then I could build all down around here if I wanted to. Just by in the area, chopping everything down. At a certain point, you don't need all that space. Like literally, you don't. And if they allow you to, if they fix the game to where they allow you to build upward, maybe, you know, give you a spiral staircase, so you can go up to a tower. You can have towers, stuff like that. You really then don't even need that much area. You can just build vertically. You still have like an entranceway and all this. I thought this was a decent little touch. I was gonna turn this into a dining hall, and then I needed another room, and I was thinking about like boxing this off to create another room, but I was like, nah, this looks cool. I'm not gonna mess it up. And you don't. I was thinking about putting like chairs, little area, you know, chair area somewhere where, like, where people are waiting to see me, I guess, the king or wherever I am, the vampire lord. They could sit there and have a, you know, stupid shit. But then I was like, no, why would a vampire lord give a fuck whether, excuse my language, why would a vampire lord care whether or not people were standing, right? You wouldn't. And you know, you're not supposed to be comfortable come to see Vampire Lord. You're supposed to be a little upset, a little scared. You don't know what's going to happen. And Mary Jane over here, little mean reference. Mary Jane. So anyway, that's basically it. I really like my favorite rooms are this one and of course the sleeping chambers. And then this out here, I really like the colors and everything else. You know, cool. I do like the individual rooms too. I mean, they're not bad. Yeah. supposed to have like a cell area too. Looks like. Yeah, prison floors. I didn't take into consideration any of that. You know, like a prison and stuff like that. And to have again, all my material is in this room right here. Everything that I have is in these rooms, these lockers. And I didn't take any of that into consideration. But it's weird because the sorting, like trying to match up the materials, these are all stacked. If you can see, you roll over and you'll see the little window pop up, and underneath where it explains it, it says stackable, right? And then it says salvageable. So all the material that I have here can be salvaged also, right? But it's stackable, but it can be salvaged, so it all goes in one area, right? One container. And then over here is all the stackable stuff. Oops, sorry, that was in the wrong spot. This is all the stackable stuff that can't be salvaged, but is stackable, right? So this is all stackable, but it can't be salvaged because it won't break down anything. And then this is all the raw material that needs to be crushed, crafted, grinded, whatever. This right here was all the dust, sawdust, spectral dust, grave dust, gem dust, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. This is overflow from the other thing because I can't put any more in there, and I had space on this one. So this is edible stuff, consumable items, gems. Like I haven't done a lot. Like I said, all my stuff has been about building. I haven't been out there like hunting, gathering. This is all the plants and all. Silver, explosives, and then these are plantable items because you can have a garden, but I haven't experimented with any of that either. And then again, this is all blood essence, greater blood essence, and primal blood essence, woodworking bench, and then the devourer, which breaks down all your materials into items. So like this again is a salvageable and stackable item, so you can break it down in here. And I would get 1 fish room, 6 fish room. And then I did put individual cabinets in some of these, but there's really not much in them. This is all the crafting for studying or research, and then nothing in that. It's more cosmetic than anything else. But I wanted to have what I was getting at was to have the areas partitioned off, but all near each other, and have a central crafting, or have a central location for all materials, right? So that I can just go from one room to another room to another room, you know, and have my crafting materials very close by at hand. Instead, I have to go over there and look. Like if I want to craft, I have to see what it needs. I have to run over here to get the crafting materials, remember what it is that I need, and then go back. And I was going to break it down individually, start dividing up all the crafting materials for the sections, like jewel crafting and stuff like that. Would have just, you know, the gems and shit in it. But some of the crafting materials are overlapping, right? And that's where the problem comes in at. Because they're overlapping, and you know, you're going to have them spread out all over the place. And I was like, I'll just have a central one. That's what I'm going to do on the next build. I'm going to have a central location where I can build everything, or build off of that. And that central location is going to be where all the materials are going to store. See, the details in the game are really nice when you scroll in. The game is very similar to Valheim with way better graphics. Right? Valheim's graphics are kind of fuzzy and pixelated, and a lot of angles to it, a lot of square edges and stuff like that. These guys seemed as though they did more graphically. I mean, the game has a lot of crafting stuff and a lot of stuff that you put, you know, like it reminds me of The Sims and Valheim, right? The Sims, because you got all these curtains and different, you know, things that you can put up and so on and so forth. And then you got the survival aspect of Valheim, the building aspect of Valheim, and all that other stuff, and then a very similar kind of premise. It's extremely similar to Valheim, except for you can't go in the water with a boat, things like that. But I can see where they got the idea for the game. You can tell. You can just tell. They did an incredible job on like the models, you know, making them look, the lighting and all that other stuff in the game. The game works really well. Again, I just wish you could build upward, and I wish that you could see more of your castle. It's got that Diablo feel, like, you know, when you go up to a wall, right, that disappears, and you can see the other side of the wall. This helps with, like, say if this was the outside, you wanted to paint the outside of your castle, but you couldn't get around because, like, here, where I built right to the edge, like this, you can't get around here. So you can actually go in from this side and select a wallpaper. So for this it would be exterior, see that? And I can change the wall. See how it changed? You can actually do your walls from outside, you know, in here, from inside your base. I do like that they did that, because it gives you the ability to then, you know, do what you need to do. Change your walls on the outside or whatever. And again, there's only two style of walls in this game. There's wooden walls, and then there's stone walls. That's it. The castle walls. So there's not a lot of like building options when it comes to the wall and the design, the aesthetic of the wall. It's more cosmetic. Once you put the wall up, you can basically paint the walls a different color, which I did, you know, on every internal part of the castle. They're all different color walls and stuff like that. Panels, you know, you got the wooden panels, stuff like that. This is, like in here, this is all wood. That's these panels right here, cordial wall panels. And they got details on this, like the detailing is pretty decent. But when you scroll in, you know, you can see your character, you can see more details of stuff that you're standing in front of, but you have no reference of height until you scroll out, and then you kind of lose details. I wish that you could scroll in more and then look up and see more. See, like, there's details above me, right, with this, but you can't see them unless you scroll out, and then you start to lose some of the detail. You can't really see the intricacies of what you're looking at, because you can't scroll up enough, or you can't look up, you can't tilt, pan up very far. Like, that's it. That's their panning right there. See that? That's it. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's all it does. Nothing. When you scroll in, see, you can't. It's worse. It's like, that's it. So you lose, like, these statues. Being able to look up at them and see and get like a reference of height. This game would have been great had it been fully 3D without a top down. I mean, it's great now the way it is, don't get me wrong. Like, the game is really, really fun. And it's really geared towards the PvP aspect. You know, there is that PvE, but it's definitely a survival PvP type of game. But there's like little things that I wish they would have incorporated. You know, the ability to pan so that you can actually, you know, see your entire castle in more detail of it. Go down here, carpets. Yeah, like I said, it's all real decent looking, but You have to scroll out to see any kind of real depth to your castle whatsoever. And then you don't realize how big the castle is. You really don't, even if you scroll in. You know, because you can't look up and see any height. You scroll out, it just looks like every other game that scrolls out. It's a beautiful game. I mean, they really had. Whoever did all this 3D modeling and art design and stuff for the game, really, yeah, they should get a raise because they really did go deep into the game as far as designing stuff. They're 3D modelers, graphics designers. Definitely worth the money, whatever they paid for. Worth the money, worth the money. Anyway, again, you see what some of the equipment does, grinds down stuff based on the materials you get, and then you end up with these grind that and so on and so forth. Having the matching floor speeds up the process, and that's another game design that I really liked. You know, the floor. So there is, you know, they do push you in that building aspect too, because for you to have for this to work properly and be faster, it's got to be in an enclosed room, right? A confined castle room, and then have the matching floor. Well, you have to actually go out and hunt to get the materials and everything you need to do your research in order to get those floors and upgrade to the next table. Yeah, it's just a really good way of keeping people going out to get content. And on, like I said, I use programs to speed up my crafting processes and to be able to get more materials and things like that. That's all settings within the game that you can do, right? That's in the game. But I knew I was going to build, so I didn't want to keep initially I did. When I first loaded up the game, I didn't know anything about the game, so I loaded up a server, went in and started playing, and it was really painstaking for me to build. It was just too slow, so I went in and changed all the settings. I keep saying programs, but I went in and changed all the settings and all to speed up everything, give me more resources when I cut something down, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth, to use less resources to build things like that. And because I knew I wasn't actually playing the game, I was just going through the building aspect of the game and learning the mechanics of it. So I know the basic mechanics of the game now, how to do all the building and the basic fighting and stuff like that. I've been watching videos of the guys PvPing, and there's really quite a bit to their PvP methods, like being able to use the bat form and then jump down on enemies, scout out where castles are, things like that when you're in bat form. And that's something I think is, I mean, if you can, when you fly, if you get hit by the sun, it'll pull you out of your flight mode after a certain amount of time. But since people can adjust their servers, they can have, like I do, where I only have 1 hour of nighttime or 1 hour of daytime. So you can have a whole entire server just flying around scouting our castles that somebody thought they were building in a location that they might not be found in, and then somebody flies. I think that's a very cheap mechanic. I don't. It's just too easy. You shouldn't be able to just fly around and scout people's bases. Maybe they can add a mechanic with the. It would be nice. I don't ever see this, but with the castle heart, that if you have the castle heart, maybe a fully upgraded castle heart will shroud your castle, kind of hide it. I mean, if you look at all the popular vampire things, their castles can be hidden. You know, they can shroud their castles and stuff like that in mist and stuff like that, so you're gonna be able to see it. This way, just to take away the bad thing, you can't see it from the air. Then at least, you know, you couldn't see the castle from the air. You still see the castle on the ground, but you can't see it from the air. And not only that, since the map isn't procedurally generated, this is just a map that they built. everyone knows where the build areas are going to be because they're all on these areas right here. They're all elevated, and they have ramps and stuff like that, so you know where the build areas go. Me, I had built like over here on a non-built, on an area that wasn't, and this is like 100% area over here. You can build and then take up the whole area and use every tile that you need to. Some of these areas you can't, like this right here. It's a 3-tier area, but this top tier is very small. It's not really that big. And then you got this area right here that you can build on. So you can build your like main part of your castle here, put the steps going down, but you're not actually building a level, right? It's just you're building a flat ground and you got stairs, and that's it. And then you can build up here, and you can build down here if you want to. All of that. Yeah, you see the sun. So now the sun shouldn't hurt me because I have. Let's see. Yeah, because those braziers are up, the sun won't hurt me right now. I don't know how much area that covers. I might get stung here. I'll show you when you're out in the sun. Ah, it's close. This beam of light, they did a really good job on that too. Like this beam of light comes down and starts just burning and shit, and your screen is just, it gets really bright. You can't see shit for real. They did, I mean, again, they did a really good job on this. The details are really, really good. Going out and fighting the enemy is decent. He's out here again. He's gonna die. Sure. I should put him in here in the cage and then go fight them. So good. Hey, where'd all the rats go? Where's my rats? Did he kill them all? I think he killed my rats. I had 6-9 locked up in there. Son of a bitch. Anyway, they thought, I mean, they did it, like I said, they really did. Building aspect, I love the building aspect, like the aesthetics of the building. Oh, it's just sick. I'm hung up on that not being able to build upwards. Yeah. I mean, you get stairs. You literally get stairs. Where's it at? Right here. Get stairs that you can build. Wooden or stone, right? Okay, that's fine. But you can't place these you can't place them in here. Even in an open area, you couldn't put these. They're only for the outside, and it's, again, as far as I know, you have to have the ramps. You know, like the, get out of that. You have to have, these are ramps. There's no stairs here. Like you can build on those ramps, and then that's where the stairs go, and that's it. And you can't wall off to stairs, right? So you can't make the stairs impenetrable because you can't put a wall here. Once you put the stairs, you can't put anything else. You can put a wall here and a wall here, right? But you can't put anything here on the stairs. There's no sense in putting a wall. I mean, what's the purpose of it? So if you're going to get raided, it's not going to stop them. Beautiful, man. RJ. And the other thing is you can't sit in these chairs. I can build all this, but you can't actually sit in them. I mean, the details. Look at the level of detail in these models. I mean, not superb, but I mean, look, pretty good. Look at the woodwork. They did a really good job with these models. This allows you to find these things. The boss mobs, and then you can go fight them. You don't want to fight them without a guild, though. A couple guys. I mean, maybe if you're at like max level, and you're, I don't know if I'm at max level, but if you're at max level, and you have all your powers and stuff like that, you can probably go solo. But you really have to pay attention to what you're doing, because they will kill you. Fairly simple. Alright, well, that's my base tour. I did this because, like I said, I was starting the game, and I wanted to document it. I'm gonna leave the server just, you know, just to come. I don't think I'm gonna build anything as intricate as this next time. Like I said, I'm gonna concentrate more on the crafting areas this time. But if any of the guys who play this game see this, you know, there's some ideas here you might want to look at. Again, a lot of the people who play this game and do YouTube videos, they since the game's brand new, there's a lot of I wish I knew type of videos. Well, I wish I knew this and I wish I knew that. I knew because we've been, you know, people like me and Stony and a lot of the guys who were in GU and all, we've been gaming for so long that we tend to feel out the game and the mechanics of the game prior to like just crashing the game and trying to, you know, dominate right from the door and make common mistakes that these people are making. So I wanted to, you know, get into the building aspect because I wanted to see what was possible and what wasn't possible within the game. And, you know, the building part, your castle's an important part, regardless if you're on a PvP server or not. PvP might be what you go out and do, but you have to protect your castle. And you have to build your castle in a way where it's easy to get to the things that you need to do within the castle and keep it safe. I mean, you got people just building a box, right? Like this, they just build the box, and then all their stuff is within this box, everything, right? So their castle is this big, like, you know, my one room, and that's it. Because they're out there, you know, they don't partition off the rooms, so they don't get the benefit of the flooring and the room being enclosed and all of those stuff. A lot of people just build weird. And they go out, they start enjoying the PvE and the PvP part of the game, but they forget, like, everything is based off of this. You got no castle, then you're exposed to everything, and you just get your ass kicked. And you have to keep your castle up and running, right? You can't let your castle just fall apart, fall to pieces. So you got to stack up this. This is at max. You got to stack everything up. You got to have enough materials to maintain everything. And you got durability in this game too. So your weapons and your armor start to lose durability, and you got to take care of that. And then you got to have the materials for that and stuff like that. So you always got to have some place to come back to. So building a castle, like your castle is your base operations where you do everything out of. And if you build your castle wrong, you're going to have a hard time. Now this by no means is the right way for you to build a castle. I did, you know, I partitioned off rooms, I made rooms, but I didn't take in consideration having a central storage area. And I think having your rooms built around a central location, so you build the central location, right, and then you build all your rooms in a square around that. You partition them off so that you have access to that central location from any of your rooms, and then from there you can build out into your castle and stuff like that. Not making the storeroom your actual center, but it should be the center of where your rooms are. So everything should be, all your separate rooms should be built off of that central location, so you can store all your material. Just open up the door, go out, get the material you need, go right back into the room that you're building, you know, that you're working in, and that's it. And then you can build all the other bullshit like this, the grand hall, and then you, like, you know, where you sleep, and then your throne room. You can build all that stuff afterwards. Yeah. I do think that the little area I got out here was a good touch, because I was going to build all the way to the edge here, but then I wouldn't have had no outside area. I would have had to build down on another surface. So when I was making this, I took that into account. I said, you know what? Not to mention that this is 4 squares across. I think it's 4 squares across. So having the throne centrally located would have been harder. See, the throne is actually here, because I wanted to match up to 2 windows and then the 2 doors. I did think a little bit too much about the throne room and not enough about after I got the throne room. It's like the room's coming off the throne room. I knew I wanted the central hallway before you go into the throne room. I knew that too. And I knew that I wanted to build all my other rooms off of that central hallway, but I wound up... Okay, so the sun's coming up before the sun passes, because it's only a split second, and I'll show you how much damage this thing is. Nope, get in. See that? Almost died. It's cool too how he comes out of the coffin. Shit, that floats out like that. I love how they did it. I just really, again, wish... Oh, these are the wrong color. Why are they green? This is supposed to be red. Yeah, these are supposed to be like this, not like that. Ugh, I have to change that. I didn't even notice that. Because when you're building, you don't see that. They're all supposed to be red like this. Nah, it doesn't matter. So why not? Because I didn't make those green. I know I didn't. Why are they green? Maybe I did. These are all red out here, though. But that in there, it's supposed to look like this. Maybe I'll keep it like that. It don't look bad. Still looks good. I could have sworn they were all red. Oh well. That's that. Alright, I'm going to get off because I'm going to start a new game, and I don't know what I'm going to do, but I will be streaming again, but I want to get the server set up and start from scratch. So I'll be back in a little bit. To the people that are watching, thank you.